The Tertiary Education Trust Fund is a federal government intervention agency with the corporate objective to provide funding for the resuscitation, restoration, and consolidation of public tertiary education in Nigeria. It also promotes a creative and innovative approach to educational learning and service, even as it stimulates, supports, and enhances activities in the educational foundation areas like teacher education, teaching practice, library development, and special education programs to champion new literacy-enhancing programs. Over the years, Tetfund has disbursed tens of billions of naira to improve tertiary education in Nigeria, and the impact has been felt.
Tetfund is an intervention agency. There are a number of intervention agencies in Nigeria, but today I'm proud to be associated with a unique, I would call it, reference that Tetfund has earned, focusing more on, or exclusively on the tertiary education subsector, but more importantly, the public. And it has to do with the original concept that, and it remains justifiable, that majority of students in our universities, up to 94%, as at the last count and figures issued out by National Universities Commission, student population Nigeria, are in the public universities, for instance. And so you can imagine that we're just talking about less than 6% or just about that for all the private universities, when their number is about equal to that of the public. So there still remains strong justification for that. And in many countries, we say some presidents lose elections because they are not applying or investing adequately in public education. In UK, in US, call it any other parts of the world, because it is the public education system that caters for the majority, but more importantly, the less privileged sector of society. And that was the original concept. And to that extent, look at it this way. When the case was made for ETF anyway, originally, there were virtually no respectable, visible, respectable infrastructure that you would say they are those of universities. It was at that time said that universities were glorified secondary school. But we thank God with the application of the funds, particularly from 2011, you and me will agree. Like I said, you said yes. I mean, you are trying to help Tetfund through your media for, publicity of what we've been doing. But you know what? Our interventions have been self-publicity itself. Go physically to any of the public tertiary institutions today. Many of them would suggest that you may as well rename them Tetfund universities, polytechnics, or colleges because of the impact. But more recently, we say yes, we've put up a lot of physical infrastructure. Even in that respect, we know there are still some deficits. Precisely why last year, the case was made for more funding for hostels. Because if Nigerian universities, for instance, want to attract students, both at undergraduate and graduate levels, from other countries within and beyond Africa, we must have accommodation for them. It's one of the reasons UK foreign earnings, a significant part is from tuition fees and student cost payments by non-UK citizens. Why can't we do the same and provide another window for the funding of our tertiary institution? But I can tell you, my joy is that last year the Board of Trustees decided that yes, we've done so much for fiscal infrastructure. Can we look at the content component?
One of the institutions to immensely benefit from Tetfund is the University of Lagos, a public research university in Lagos, Nigeria. It is one of the 5 first-generation universities in Nigeria and was founded in 1962. It's ranked among the top universities in the world in major education publications. The university presently has 3 campuses in the mainland of Lagos. while 2 of its campuses are located in Yaba, the main campus in Akoka, and recently created campus at the former School of Radiography. Its College of Medicine is located at Idi Araba, Surulere. Its main campus is largely surrounded by the Lagos Lagoon and has 802 acres of land. The University of Lagos currently admits over 9,000 undergraduate students annually and enrolls over 57,000 students. The University of Lagos has graduated many notable alumni, amongst whom are eminent scientists, politicians, lawyers, business icons, writers, entertainers, monarchs, countless technocrats, recipients of the Nigerian National Order of Merit, fellows of the various learned academies, and many others. As of September 2020, 1 Nobel laureate and 1 Pulitzer Prize winner have been affiliated with the University of Lagos as students, alumni, faculty, or staff. The university's research activity was one of the major criteria used by the National Universities Commission in adjudging the university as the best university in Nigeria at the Nigerian University System Annual Merit Award in 2008. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, gives us more details of the institution.
The University of Lagos came into existence 59 years ago. So by next year, we are going to be celebrating our 68th anniversary by the grace of God. The University of Lagos is a multi-faculty university. We have 12 faculties, from law to arts to science to medicine to pharmacy to business administration to education to engineering. So we have 12 faculties and we have over 60 departments. The student population is over 57,000 for undergraduate students and postgraduate students. And also the staff strength of the University of Lagos is over 5,000.
The Vice Chancellor believes that the far-reaching impact Tetfund has had over the years can be further enhanced through expansion of the agency by the establishment of zonal and state offices. The Vice Chancellor, who was a guest speaker at the 3rd edition of the Tetfund Taxpayers Forum, which held in Lagos, affirmed that, if well handled, such decentralization will improve access to Tetfund intervention programs, ease administration, and eliminate any potential bureaucratic bottlenecks.
There is need to decentralize Tetfund activities by creating zonal and/or state offices for easy administrative purpose. Then the institutional-based research, which I also benefited from. There are 2 types. That is like a seed grant for you to do a project, a research work, and if you believe that you need to escalate that research work, you can do it through this platform. And I want to say publicly that one of the researches that myself and my mentees we embarked on, in which we used Tetfund grant for about 5 years ago. Just this year, I got another grant of 38,000 euro, and my mentee got a research grant of 18,000 euro. So I want to say thank you to Tetfund for introducing the institutional-based research. The maximum you can get is 2 million for that, and the universities got 4.6 billion naira, polytechnics 2.4 billion naira, and colleges of education 2.2 billion naira. Then let's go to the other one, that is the National Research Grant, which is maximum is 50 million naira. I want to say that through that platform, again, myself and my research team, we have gotten research grant of over 200 million naira through that platform. Initially, When we started about 4 years ago, it was as if this is another joker from Tetfund. So only few people applied. Out of the few people that applied, I was the only one that was given the grant in the University of Lagos. But you cannot believe it that 2 years ago, over 100 people applied for University of Lagos. And we got the highest grant of over 400 million naira. The last one, we are getting over 400 million naira for research grants in different areas of interest. So I want you to know that University of Lagos is benefiting from the grant. So in 2020, for the physical infrastructure is the one you use to put up new buildings. You go to some universities, like rightly said earlier on, you will think that it's University of Tetfund, because Tetfund building is all over the place. For physical infrastructure, over 301 billion naira is allocated for the intervention in 2020. The special intervention is over 206 billion naira. I'm talking of billion, not million, and you know what that translates into.
He also reeled out some of the projects and interventions which the University of Lagos benefited from, courtesy of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, especially in infrastructure, capacity building, and various research grants. Feats which he said has helped to improve the university's ratings over the years.
Like I said earlier on, that I benefited from Tetfund intervention in the area of conference attendance and research grants. With my team, I've gotten research grant of over 200 million naira from Tetfund, not myself alone being the principal officer. With my team, we have about 3 that we are running currently. We have been able to conclude about 2 or 3. So in the area of institutional research grant, which is about 2 million maximum, I've benefited from it too. So my university, we have benefited in the area of manpower, sending our staff outside the country for their PhD program, and even within the country for conferencing, outside the country and within the country, and also in the area of entrepreneurship. Like I said, our entrepreneurship center is the best in the country because we have people from other universities, director of entrepreneurship centers from other universities coming to our university. And in the area of innovation, that is where we are facing now for our students. So we are doing well.
When it comes to the diligent disbursement of funds, monitoring and evaluation of projects in Nigeria's public tertiary institutions, Tetfund is extremely focused, working closely with the Federal Inland Revenue Service and industry to ensure that there's a yearly increase from the tax pool.
As most of you are aware, the Federal Inland Revenue Service is a key partner of the Tetfund. We assist in the assessment, collection and accounting for their revenue as enshrined in Section 21A of Tetfund Act. Outlined below are details of how education tax is implemented in Nigeria. It is governed by Tertiary Education Trust Fund Establishment Act 2011. EDT is imposed on all companies registered in Nigeria. So all registered companies in Nigeria are expected to pay education tax. FRA shall assess a company for tertiary education when assessing the company for company's income tax or petroleum profit tax for an accounting period as enshrined also in Section 21A of the Tetfund Act. The rate of the tax is 2% of the accessible profit of that particular company. The due date for filing returns is the same as that of the CIT and PPT. For companies subject to PPT, tertiary education tax is treated as an allowable deduction. In 2020, last year, FRS collected and remitted the sum of 259.5 billion naira to Tetfund. which went a long way in supporting development of education at the tertiary level. Tetfund will be celebrating its 10-year anniversary by next month, and it suffices to say that over these 10 years, FRS had assisted Tetfund to collect 2.052 trillion naira.
Professor Ogundipe bears witness to the huge investment in education that the institution he leads has received thanks to Tetfund.
We have the Special Intervention Fund, which is about 3 billion or 5 billion naira. Then the normal intervention, the zonal intervention, it will be over 6 billion naira that University of Lagos will be able to benefit from Tetfund intervention.
An essential component of the Professor Bogoro-inspired paradigm shift towards research and development in Nigeria is the establishment of the Tetfund Centers of Excellence, 12 of which have already taken off. 2 per geopolitical zone, with a takeoff grant of 1 billion naira each. The University of Lagos ranks among these pioneer centers.
In biodiversity and conservation, we also have for kidney and urology. So 2 centers of excellence. The one for biodiversity and conservation is up running now. The one for kidney and urology in the next 2 months, that will kickstart too. So those are the 2 centers of excellence that we have in the University of Lagos. The baby of Professor Bogoro, the ES of Tetfund, I remember when it started about 6 years ago that we went to the US for exposure in that area. University of Lagos definitely will be a key player because that is the direction that we need to go to move the country forward. We are doing well in the area of research. Then how do we translate that research to development in the country and fit into the area of moving the country forward? We have everything that is needed to move Nigeria forward. So there is need for us to make sure that we tap into that potential and make it to be able to be seen and to manifest into what we can use to move the country forward.
The University of Lagos is indeed a strategic partner to Tetfund, especially as it seeks to draw the government, the academia, and industry together through the triple helix model. Lagos, being the center of excellence, is wasting no time in taking the lead to nurture this innovative approach to problem solving. The Lagos state government has shown passion for research and development through the Lagos State Science, Research and Innovation Council, which stood at the front line of the fight against the coronavirus pandemic.
I'm the chairman of Lagos State Science, Research and Innovation Council. Last year, the government of Lagos State budgeted 250 million naira in the area of innovation, research, and through that fund, during the COVID period, we are able to develop ventilator, which is working now, and is solar-powered ventilator, which can be used in the rural areas. Now, what we are doing is to now do the clinical runs of the ventilator before we now push it to the market. The governor of Lagos State is interested in this, and also the deputy governor of Lagos State, they are interested in. Apart from that, there are other research areas that we have invested into through that platform in Lagos State. University of Lagos, we got over 12 research fund. Lagos State University got over 6 research fund, and Lagos State Yaba College of Tech, Lagos State Polytechnic. So, because the area of focus of this government, that is the governor of Lagos State and his team, is to tap into that potential that we have in Lagos State to be able to develop in the area of research, to demand-driven research, to help the state in moving forward and in solving the problems. In the area of innovation, we have some of those people who got support in the area of innovation. and in the area of entrepreneurship. So, but this year, the government of Lagos State, they increased the budget for that purpose for this year, 2021. We are going to interface with when we have the National Research and Innovation Council at the national level.
For those who believe ideas rule the world, this is a very exciting time. Tetfund, with the full backing of the federal government, has thrown its weight and clout behind the Nigerian intellectual and shown that it has confidence that pragmatic innovation will succeed where crude methods, ad hoc governance, and guesswork have all failed. Research expands our knowledge base. Simply put, we learn more from it. The process of research opens up new opportunities for learning and growth. Research will also give us the latest information. Beyond that, it helps us to know what we're up against so we can formulate plans and strategies. We will have better discernment, new ideas, and improve our problem-solving skills. But beyond all of these wonderful things that Nigeria can achieve through R&D, research will help our young intellectuals reach people, and it would encourage their curiosity, making them more productive to the economy. And that is the paradigm shift.